So, hello everyone. This is Mari Lewis, and this is a Mari moment. Now, to get things going, first of all, my last 2 to 3 posts have been very interesting. The responses have been very interesting. For those of you that follow me, for those of you that know me, when I post, I really don't give an opinion. I don't ask for opinions. I really don't say pro or con. And I definitely don't try to have anybody think the way I think, because it's not going to happen. But I sit here and I post, and it's just interesting the number of people that have gone that route. They either post on my page their opinion, they post on my page what my people who read my page should be thinking about or reading, or they just outright post on my page on a post totally unrelated to the damn post and let the people go, oh, this is the way this has to be because I believe that. Well, who the hell are you? This is my page. This is me. Until Facebook says something like, oh, you can't post anymore because, well, you're not safe, then these Mari moments are going to continue. I decided to write down some of the things that people have been doing on my page or on my posts. And I just go, you didn't read the post, did you? No, this is not related to the post. Ugh. Okay, well, I think instead of trying to make this a real long little Mari moment, I'll break it up. Now I'll bitch today, and then I'll bitch tomorrow, and then I will seriously bitch later on. So this Mari post pretty much is, my last post, which was basically about monuments being torn down, being vandalized, and things of that nature. Most of it for, I guess, the Confederacy or anything related to slavery or related to downgrading the black community. It was a curiosity. And if anyone's read the post, they realize I just said, I'm just curious. Didn't ask for any opinions. I just said, well, Washington had slaves. Are we going to tear down the Washington Monument? Well, I'll admit one of my posts did say that George Washington himself did not own slaves, but his wife did. And he did not legally have the authority to free them. Well, my thing is that if I remember my history right, and everybody has learned history differently. I'm sorry, it really is coming down to it that wherever you lived in the United States, whatever time period it was, whatever decade it was, we all seem to have learned history differently. And I was under the impression that back in those days, women had no rights. If you had land, if you had a dowry, or if you inherited your family treasures, and then you got married, it all went to the husband. That is what I was taught, okay? And believe it or not, here in the United States, that has been the norm up until probably the late 50s to the mid 60s, where women couldn't sign contracts, they couldn't buy a house, they couldn't buy a car unless a man co-signed it. So it was kind of interesting when he said that. And when I responded, I said, interesting. But let's talk about the ones that they went a little overboard on that little cute post. And that was all it is. If you want to get rid of slavery, you're going to get rid of anything that's Confederate or had to do with the Civil War. Well, but the Civil War is still going to be there. I also asked something like, okay, Dr. Martin Luther King was all about civil rights, the injustices of the black community. So are we going to ban his books because of his feelings? Same with Malcolm X, people like that. And some of the comments that suddenly came back about the Confederacy, they came about the Constitution, they came about hating Trump. I just go, okay, you have missed the whole idea of this post. And this is not the first time. My very first Mari moment was all about this witch that called me regarding the pageant, because I am competing in the Miss Senior USA 2020 pageant. And she had found me on Facebook or some social media, and we have been going back and forth for several months about the pageant. Yes, she had been in a couple of pageants, but it was a thing of you didn't win anything. Anybody can compete. I mean, technically, I haven't won anything. But it's just her thing, which put her on my bad paper, was that she's trying to tell me, you need to stop acting black. That was it. You are so outspoken. How do you expect to get anywhere in the pageant when you're so controversial? I'm sorry. Do you see this? That's controversy as soon as I walk in the door. As soon as anybody sees me, they see this. There's a controversy. And it's what I've had to live with since day one. So, going back to me, I think it's time that people who know me, or think they know me, people who have known me for a while, people who follow me, and people who get on my social media and think they know what I'm thinking. I think it's time to let them know. First of all, I'm going to get the pageant thing out of the way. Yes, I am competing. All right? This pageant. At first it was, yes, I want to do it, get a good video out of it so that 10 years from now, when if I'm still here and I'm old and feeble, I can say, I did that, yeah, I look like that. Because that's all I'm going to get out of it. But now, because of COVID and the lockdown, it's kind of good that I am competing because it got me back into exercising, watching what I eat, putting on makeup every now and then because you get out of practice. Even wearing my heels. I wear my heels around the house vacuuming, cleaning, working on my crafts, simply because I haven't been in a pair of heels since lockdown in March. And this is July. So you got to train your feet. My corsetry has gone down the tubes because I just stopped wearing a corset. I'm not going anywhere. But now, yeah, I'm back in my corset. Okay. So, this Mari moment's going a little long. But it's basically a thing of, you don't know my history. People, you haven't lived my life. People, you don't know what I have had to do to survive, which has made me the person that I am today. Your opinion does not fucking matter to me. Because of the fact you're not thinking about me, you want me to think like you. And I have a good example of that. I recently did an interview, hopefully for a job, okay? And like all interviews, I have to be safe. I have to go there, I have to look a certain way, and it was a video thing. And there was about 3 other ladies on the same interview for the same job, and we were just talking. I'm the only black. And what I have learned all my years is that no matter how safe I try to be, no matter how un-black I try to be, no matter how well I talk, regardless of my credentials, somebody, and it's not me, is going to pull out that black card. And it took me many years to figure out why, even on this interview. This one woman, the white lady, at least, she just suddenly pulled out the black card. Well, let's talk about, what's happening out there with all those black people, and they're sitting up here, and they're da-da-da-da-da. And I'm on the other end of my camera just going, really? You pulled the black card for this interview? What's that got to do with the interview? Okay? But what I'm finding is that she wanted to impose on me and the other people that she's not a racist, okay? Pulling out and talking about how people are people, regardless of their color, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm just quiet. I'm just going, yeah, you're right, yes, people are people, this and that, because people have to have their comfort zone. If they don't have their comfort zone, it gets ugly. And most of the time, it doesn't get ugly on them. It gets ugly on you, or in my case, on me, because I'm not making them comfortable. I'm not saying or doing what they need to be comfortable. And what this woman needed to hear was me say, oh yes, we are all the same people. Oh yes, da-da-da-da-da. Because the next card that she pulled, and there will be hopefully a lot of blacks my age, hopefully, that have had this happen, she let me know that, well, she's not a racist because she has one black friend, and that black friend comes over now and then, and she has lunch, and they go out shopping. And I'm just sitting going, gee, in my mind, I'm saying, so, does that mean you're telling me that you have room for 2 black friends? Oh, joy. So, when I post, I post as me. Yes, I'm a black woman. Really, I hate being called black because, really, I'm a brown woman. I like calling myself a brown skin. And that's just me. If there's some black person out there that doesn't like to be called a brown skin, bite me, okay? That's what I like to be called. I'm a brown skin. I have seen black skin people. They're gorgeous. Their skin glistens. It's soft. It's beautiful. And they be black. I'm a brown skin. But if you have to group us all together, which is what happened, I'm sure the person who is 3 shades lighter than me doesn't like being called black. But what are they going to say? Okay? We have to accept that. So, I'm going to end this now because it's a little longer than I wanted it to be. But as I said, I'm going to bitch tomorrow. This bitch has just been about, pay attention to my posts. If you're going to read my posts at all, understand, I'm not asking for your opinion. For me, it's a curiosity. Like wearing masks. I'm telling my seniors that I work with now that don't sit here and get all stressed out because you see someplace where people aren't wearing masks. And you're going to get stressed about it. People are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to do what they feel is their safe zone. And if you don't like their safe zone, then don't go there. If your safe zone is doing what we're supposed to do or what you believe is right and wearing your mask and etc., then that's your safe zone. Protect yourself. Do what needs to be done for you. You can't change those people. I have learned that in over 60 years of being above ground. I am not going to change a person's opinion of me, even if it's just their first look at me. I haven't said a word. I just stood there or I sat in a chair and they come in the room, can almost imagine what's going through their head. And I'm not going to change that. And a lot of this is showing up on my posts. And I don't want that. I don't like it. I have snoozed these 4 people, and I'm thinking about getting rid of 3. So, and you know what? Life goes on. So, this has been a Mari moment. I don't know what number this is, because I just numbered them. And if you want to hear more, be back tomorrow.